Mac Jones is one finalist, and according to reports, he's the one the Shanahans want. Mike and Kyle love Mac Jones. What are your thoughts?
Well, a lot of girls will also like Mac Jones because dead body is a trend right now. So that's why I do think that
I
there
got
will
it
be
too.
some ladies who will like him as well.
Yeah,
Well, as
I
I
got bad
mentioned
vibe.
before, on a short-term deal, Mac Jones is the safest pick right now on the draft. But I don't see him as a future Hall of Famer. I don't think that he has that huge upside that, for example, people talked about when people talked about Eric Armstead. They said that the guy has a huge upside. I don't see that huge upside in Mac Jones, but he is the safest pick. He comes through under pressure. He came from Alabama. I don't like Alabama QBs at all, but he came from Alabama, and he proved himself that he can be a great pocket passer. He has a great release time, and I do think that Kyle appreciates that. But I don't think that he's a long-term solution for this 49ers offense.
Yeah. I don't know if it'll be a terrible pick. I like Mac Jones more than Niner fans. I like Mac Jones more than Justin Fields. The thing with Justin Fields and the decision making and the hesitation, that to me is scary because I don't think that's coachable. And at least Mac Jones doesn't have that problem, at least from what I see. He seems like a real quarterback. That being said, the only person in the world who would trade up to number 3 for Mac Jones is Kyle Shanahan and his father. So it's not surprising. And I think it's interesting that all like the senior insiders in the league had this right away. The Niners don't leak, but does Mike Shanahan? I mean, Mike Shanahan has deeply rooted connections in the media. And it's like Mike Silver, known him for 30 years. Adam Schefter wrote his book. I mean, it seems like, I'm guessing, Mike Shanahan really wanted all of his friends in the media to know that Mac Jones is their preferred guy. It doesn't necessarily mean the Niners will take him because they have a general manager, they have an owner, it may not come down to Kyle and his dad, but they've made it known that that is the guy that they think is going to be the best of the options. Does that make you smile a little bit? What do you think of the Shanahans being so bold?
Well, it's kind of a conspiracy theory, but I do think that Mike Shanahan is the greatest brain right now behind the 49ers. He's just hiding in the shadows, and he's like the Dark Lord of the Sith.
Pretty much.
Speaking the truth to Kyle Shanahan, what to do and other things like that. But back to normal because it's just a conspiracy theory, and I like to play with my mind about that. Well, I do think that if they are doing that, that's a great tactic to increase the value of Mac Jones and decrease the value of the other guys behind Mac Jones. For example, Trey Lance and other guys like that. Because I do think that most of the league right now thinks that Kyle Shanahan is still an offensive genius, and when he says that Mac Jones is the greatest option for him at the 3rd pick, there are going to be teams who will be more interested in Mac Jones, and I do have some surprise scenarios in my head when interesting things will happen during the draft, or could happen during the draft.
Well, we're going to get to there a little bit. We got to save that. But I just think it's so amazing that Kyle Shanahan has like his history is to go out on a limb and basically stake his reputation on mediocre quarterbacks, not mediocre starting quarterbacks. Like his whole career will be remembered for, aside the 2 losses in the Super Bowl, but his undying love for Kirk Cousins and his now newly blossoming affection for Mac Jones. I mean, really? Kirk Cousins and Mac Jones are your 2 favorite quarterbacks, the 2 guys that you're going to stake your reputation as a coach on? What, really? While you passed on Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, and then this year it'll be a bunch of other guys too. So it's very on brand. It's very much in character. I think it's really cute that they keep repeating the same pattern. It's like whoever the rest of the league thinks is good, you're wrong, we're right, and we want to make a point of it. Not just take the guy where we could have. Let's trade up for him and take him unnecessarily high just to show how much conviction we have. I love that about the Shanahans because ultimately that's what's going to get them. I mean, it's what got Mike run out of the league. Mike was a very good offensive coordinator. He won 2 Super Bowls as a head coach. He got a lot of power in Denver, made a bunch of bad personnel decisions, and now he doesn't coach anymore. Kyle, he could do that to himself too. It would be too bad, but you've seen coaches do it.
Could be true. This could be a statement trade that Kyle Shanahan shows the world that whoever he thinks the best fits to his offense, he will do whatever it takes to take that guy. But if he does that, and after that, if he fails doing that, then he should be fired in the next 2 or 3 seasons. During the next 2 or 3 seasons, because, well, we talked about it before. Whoever we pick at the third pick of the draft, it's a reach. And I do think if we take Mac Jones, it's the greatest reach of all
time.
To be honest, of all time, and it's just hilarious for me, but could happen. And
I just think it's funny how much people thought that Kyle changed. He hasn't changed. He still thinks he would have won that Super Bowl 2 years ago if Kirk Cousins was his quarterback, guaranteed. And now he gets to prove it by taking Kirk Cousins 2.0, maybe. Gotta love how stuck in his ways Kyle Shanahan is and how naive 49er fans were. They're like, you know what? He's lost to Patrick Mahomes. He's lost to Kyler Murray. Surely Kyle Shanahan has changed. The Niners have given him so much money. I mean, he has been reinforced every step of the way. The decisions he's made, he's not going to change. I mean, he's made $100 million or a fortune, whatever it is, doing things his way. He's not going to stop now. It's not going. He's been too reinforced. He's a genius, Botond. But here's the thing: Niner fans are already turning on him, and he hasn't even made the pick yet. I think it's quite amazing.
Yeah, I think that this is the thing that's making the situation around the 49ers right now really, really interesting, because in the past few years, Kyle Shanahan was invincible in the eyes of the 49ers fans. And I do think that with the wrong pick, things could change instantly with just these rumors that we won't pick Justin Fields. And we take, for example, Mac Jones instead. Wow. I'm just waiting for that. That could be the greatest thing to happen in the cucumber season right now.
Real quick, before we move on, I put out a poll this morning saying to Niner fans, would you rather the Niners let Kyle Shanahan draft Mac Jones or trade Kyle Shanahan right now and draft Justin Fields? 3-1. Niner fans said trade Shanahan right now and draft Justin Fields. So Kyle, hey, all I'm going to say is I don't think the Niners are going to draft Mac Jones. I still don't. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know if you have seen my picture on Twitter when I was tweeting about Kyle Shanahan that before the pick and after the pick he says that oh man, he picks Mac Jones, of course, and he says that, oh man, the risk was calculated, but damn, bad at math. I like that.
I like that. Frank says Mac at 3 ain't sexy. He will have so much on his shoulders, it'll be tough. Trey or Fields have to be at 3. Only chance, I believe. Frank, let's talk.